Your Honor, we're also approaching on bail, being that we do have a recantment, and the recantment was pretty quick, and the complainant is also asking for a dismissal. We're going to ask for a PR bond on.
You were on bond for an assault of a family member from April, and now you've picked up 2 more assaults of a family member. You're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
One of the complainants and the defendant are married. On November 2nd of 2024, officers were dispatched to an assault at a residential home in Harris County, Texas. Officers met with the complainant, who stated that she and the defendant have been common law spouses for 9 years, and that complainant and defendant were at complainant's father's house having a party. The complainant went to move their car so a guest could leave. The defendant became agitated and left. The complainant caught up with him, and he was laying down on the ground. The defendant grabbed the complainant's hair and struck her with an open palm to the face. The defendant stated, "There's no mark, so there's no proof I hit you." The complainant stated she felt pain. Complainant 2 is the brother of complainant 1 and is 16 years old. Complainant 2 stated he saw the defendant cause the scene because of the vehicle being moved and observed the defendant cursing and screaming at complainant 1. Complainant 2 heard screaming and went back outside. The complainant 2 saw his dad holding the defendant by the wrist while on the ground. The defendant's parents.
So the son sees him holding the wife down. Is that what you're saying?
No, Judge, I'm saying that, so the brother, complainant 1's brother, saw his.
Complainant 1 being the wife.
Yes, complainant 1 is wife, Judge.
Brother.
So complainant 2 saw his dad holding the defendant by the wrist while on the ground. Defendant's parents are called, and the defendant was let go. The defendant began to yell and scream at complainant 2 again, and then lunged at complainant 2's dad. Complainant 2 got in between them, and the defendant struck complainant 2 with a closed fist to the side of his cheek. Complainant 2 struck the defendant once back. Officer stated a reasonable person would feel pain after being struck in the face, so he struck complainant 1 with an open palm and complainant 2.
Now, the complainant in the first assault, who is that?
Judge, it's Christian Martinez. So there are 2 complainants in the other assault.
This is my wife, Your Honor, Stephanie Martinez.
Do we need your help? You're in enough hot water as it is, Mr. Mancias.
I understand, sir.
So it was the wife, Judge. So there are 2.
So she gets another round, right?
Yes.
The new case is against the same complaining witness.
And there are 3 open AFMs now in total.
What is the one thing I asked you not to do?
I understand, Your Honor.
Was there no protective order at the time?
There was a protective order, Judge. They said that they were having a celebration at the dad's house. So I would imagine, but I can't.
This was initially sent to the ERD, so I want to keep it again. We're going to keep it. Okay. Mr. Macias, I'm going to find that you are a complete and utter danger to my society. And there's only one thing that we do. Guess what happens now? I'm entering now magistrate orders for protection on both of those people. And I'm ordering you not to have any contact with either of these people. You violate these conditions, I will have a hearing as to whether I'm going to hold you at no bond.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand?
I understand, sir.
I'm also now going to put a GPS monitor on you so I know where you are at all times. And I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs.
Understood, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Any more issues, I'm going to make your bond so high you'll have teeth falling out.
Yes, Your Honor.
Goes with you.
May I make one statement before?
No.
Steven sign.
Jesus Mancias, Your Honor, this was the one that was up here a little earlier.
Is it, you said?
Mancias, he's the one that picked up, I just got to point it on the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
2 new assaults.
2 new assaults.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I talked to Mr. Macias for a while, and he was going to share with you a few things. that would kind of help give some more context in the case. On his two known law violations, there was a rip call that was made to the complainant, and the complainant basically said kind of what verbatim what Mr. Mancias told me, that he was actually attacked by her family. He called 911. When he called 911, she became very upset, made up the story of the assault, never saw the brother be assaulted. So you have, on the two new assaults, you have brother on one, and then you have wife on the other. So she basically recants and says that the assault on her never happened, and she says that she doesn't witness anything as far as with the brother. Okay, those are the two new law violations. She also makes a reference to the first assault, which he's currently in the court as well, and says that that was made up as well. Now we have people that recant all the time, but it would be.
I mean, I'm not going to take his word for it just because it's right.
Well, no, of course, Judge, but it should be noted as far as on this recantment as well, that she actually asked the state, does she need representation for the false report? So that's a little bit different. That's usually, you don't usually have it to where people are concerned about getting representation for making a false report. That's usually a little bit extreme, so to speak. She's actually asking for it to be dismissed.
He's on bond for an assault against this person, picks up another assault, right? And then another assault against another person. I'm putting an order for protection in, and I don't want you to have contact with this person. I'm still going to take you in. I mean, I have something that's said here. People recant all the time after the fact because for whatever reason, but I have something here. I think that there's enough evidence to go forward. And I think that I believe that probable cause did occur. I'm not going to take your word as gospel. I don't know. Maybe the facts will show something different later on, but the evidence is going to point to whose side is correct. I don't know. Perhaps there'll be photographs. Perhaps there'll be body cam footage of what a person looked like. I don't know. But this is stuff that we got to wait for to see what happens. But
we're also approaching on bail, being that we do have a recantment, and the recantment was pretty quick, and the complainant is also asking for a dismissal. We're going to ask for a PR bond on. This is the thing. I would definitely argue that there's going to be. I mean, at the very least, then, if that's the case, then I would like a speedy trial, because if we're going to,
yes, and I'd be happy to give that to you.
I would rather do that.
And I absolutely love your tenacity.
Oh, I want it. I
love your tenacity, but on the PR bond,
understandable. Well, we know that you wanted to set a bond, Judge. So
I did. I set it at 15,002 because I want you to understand that we mean business, and my utmost important is public safety, and that's the only thing that matters to me. Do you understand? And if I find that you have contact with this person, and I don't care what is going on, so help me. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
Judge, that was 15,002 on the old case.
Yeah.
And on the new cases, those are going to stay at
Leave it as
1,000.
is. I'm going to leave it as is. I'm not going to touch it what the magistrate did, but I'm just going to revoke the old one because he picked up the two new cases. I'll leave as is. Within my right to revoke it and raise it and make it higher, because I think that you're an utter danger to public, right? I'm not going to, but understand that we can. And if I find that you violate any of these conditions, I will go nuts on the bond. Do you understand?
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay. We've given you a lawyer. It's your responsibility to stay in touch with him. When you get out, you will have an ankle monitor, so I know where you are at all times. You're not to go within 200 feet of where she lives, or where he lives, or where they work. You understand?
I understand.
We will see where it pings at all times. So if you go anywhere near these people, get ready. I will give you the speedy trial. I need to give them at least enough time to get their evidence, to get their motions and subpoenas in line, which is at least 30 days.
And I don't press the state. I've worked for the state before, so I can be amenable to a time that works for them. I just want to be fair to him as well.
I mean, it would be probably in January, but whatever date then, we're gold, whatever you want. Yeah, of course. All right, thanks. Wait, hold on a second, because I don't think.
We signed them all up. You just need to sign it.
Okay.
And I know,
Can you also, well, no, we got conditions with, okay.
right, and as soon as she's ready and we can,